All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome aboard our solo Amazon brief this morning. Taking a look at the S&P 500, it's already given back all the NVIDIA pop that we saw after hours on blowout NVIDIA numbers. But folks, I'm going to show you you'd be a fool to trade NVIDIA instead of the stock we're going to talk about today. Talking about putting all your eggs in one basket, folks. NVIDIA would be the definition of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Let's go ahead and get airborne. Make sure you silence your electronic nicotine and no distractions. Shut the door because you've really never heard what I'm about to tell you today. I guarantee you haven't heard what I'm about to tell you today. You've actually been told the exact opposite. Let's talk real quick about the Death Star, right? I'm a little senior. I'm a little older, so grew up with the Star Wars franchise. Got a couple kids that love Star Wars. The Death Star, right? It was this big, giant space station the size of a small moon that, was taking over the universe. Got blown up by a bunch of teenagers in a space Winnebago, but they rebuilt it and it, took over even more of the universe. So that's the stock, believe it or not, that we're going to talk about today. I call the stock the Death Star. It gets attacked every once in a while, takes a couple hits, and then it gets bigger and stronger. And that is the only stock you need to own for the rest of your life. Now, real quick, before we get airborne, the name of my company is TOPGUN Options. So obviously we have a little bit of a fighter pilot tint to what we do here at TOPGUN Options. Quick question. Which fighter aircraft would you rather fly? And you don't have to know anything about fighter aircraft to make a choice. Here's your first choice. Choice A. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the F4 Phantom. Okay? Over 300 switches and dials in this cockpit. The pilot would spend a lot of what we call heads down looking at all this stuff instead of eyeballs out of the cockpit looking for enemy aircraft or AAA, anti-aircraft artillery, or SAMs, surface-to-air missiles. Very labor-intensive aircraft, and they actually put another dude in this airplane sitting in the back seat to run the radar. Very labor-intensive aircraft. Or, that's your choice. Choice B, the F-35 Lightning. 2 flat panel displays in that aircraft. That's it. This jet is the Wonder Woman jet. It's invisible to radar. Matter of fact, when the pilot looks down with their helmet on, they see through the aircraft floor because there's sensors and cameras all over the aircraft. Ladies and gentlemen, trading is a form of combat. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to get their ass handed to them. So you obviously would want to fly the F-35. This jet is so intelligent, it actually is learning what the pilots are doing throughout different portions of the flight and kind of remembering that, like, aha. So the pilot looked at this and did this when this was going on. I'm learning. Got to be honest with you, I think my 2 boys are probably the last generation of fighter pilots to man these aircraft, and then it's over with, folks. So F-35, what's this have to do with trading? Everything. All right, so my promise by the end of today's brief, I'm going to give you an up-to-date intelligence brief. What's going on with NVIDIA? What's going on in the world from Ukraine to Israel to China, doing massive military exercises starting yesterday around Taiwan. A lot of stuff going on in the world, folks. To the Federal Reserve and raging inflation and the gaslighting that's going on from this administration. Everything's great in this country. Inflation's under control and the economy's doing great. And if it's not doing great and inflation's high, it's for you only. Excuse me? So we'll talk through some of that stuff. I'm going to show you the only stock you need to own. That's it. And if you read the title slide, you know exactly what stock that is. And also a good substitute to trade. Wiz, I just can't trade one stock. That makes no sense to me. Well, I'm going to break you of that belief. But even if I can't, I'm going to show you a good substitute to trade. Real quick, why should you sit up and listen to me this morning, this afternoon, or tonight? How'd the average hedge fund do last year? 9.29%. So if you're ever sitting there or you're at a cocktail party and somebody's like, oh, I'm in a hedge fund, and who cares? They suck. Here's the smart money, ladies and gentlemen, about 9.29%. Here is a screenshot of my brokerage account at the end of last year. How did I finish up when they finished up 9%? 151%. Okay. And if you noticed, I just showed you a chart of the S&P 500 real quick towards the end of the year when it was all over the place. How did my portfolio do when it was all over the place? I love volatility. I love market pullbacks. I love market chop. So I destroyed the so-called smart money last year, and just about for every year of my 30 plus years, I've been doing this. But it was just funny last year, and that's my most recent, performance. And Q1, Q2 performance, I'm probably on track to probably over 200% return this year. Easy to trade a market that's going straight up, folks. Everybody's a genius, right? No, everybody isn't a genius, especially when the market starts freaking out like the end of last year. And there you go. That's how I did as the market started to freak out last year. Real quick, if you don't know who I am, I know we did some advertising on social media. Some of my strategic partners emailed. My name is Matthew Buckley. You can call me Wiz. I'm Matthew if I'm in trouble with my mom or my wife. That's my call sign. I flew the F-18 Hornet for the United States Navy for about 15 years. Graduated from the Navy Fighter Weapons School. That's a lot of words for Top Gun, where I was an adversary pilot. And I deployed in support of Operation Southern Watch, Noble Eagle, and Enduring Freedom. What's a fighter pilot or anything have to do with trading? Everything. I told you earlier, trading is a form of combat, folks. Why wouldn't you apply everything I learned as a fighter pilot to trading? When I was a young aviator, I'm like, wait a minute. I have a strategy. I implement tactics. I contingency plan. I manage risk. All of those things are absolutely required for you to be a good, not just a good, but the best, most elite trader. I applied all of those things to my trading, and guess what happened? It worked out incredibly well. It worked out so well, folks, that I popped up on the radar of one of the largest volatility arbitrage firms headquartered right there in the Chicago Board of Trade. You see those big windows right there? That was my trading firm, right in the CBOT. See, you can see those big windows right there in the background. Folks, this was an absolute blast. I helped build a hedge fund when I was there. That's our research area over here. There's our traders. Over here was the technology and finance folks. Man, it was fun. Built the retail brokerage some of you might have traded at back in the day called Options House. Man, it was awesome. I was the managing director of strategy and then also the founder and CEO of the Options News Network. We were the CNBC for options. Back before they got rid of John and Pete Najarian, they kind of paid lip service to options, right? It was like an afterthought, like, oh, we got 30 seconds left. Let's talk about options. Well, guess what? I was 24/7 Options News Network, giving folks like you a behind the scenes look at what was going on in the options market. Now, I jokingly tell people I felt like Valentine in trading places, right? Little old unwashed masses retail trader hanging out with the so-called smart money. But I got to tell you, folks, there is absolutely no such thing as a smart money. I wrote a book about it. I predicted the COVID market crash to the day and made $2.5 million worth of trades in about 2 to 3 weeks. As I was doing this, and I made little old ladies here wearing tennis shoes at Top Gun Options into millionaires as well. As we were doing this, the smart money, Bill Ackman, Kyle Bass, Larry Fink, who's the other guy, the BlackRock dude. They were literally crying on CNBC. We need to shut the markets down. Everybody just needs to take a break. I'm like, no, dude. I'm an options trader. I'm on the other side of all of your bullshit, bullish bets right now. Do you remember? Every day that the market got slammed, they'd get on CNBC. Oh, I think this is the bottom here. I'd be a buyer. Donald Trump, I believe stocks are looking good here. I'd be a buyer of stocks. Listen to me. I know what I'm talking about. The next day, the Dow went down 3,000 points. I think I made $75,000 on one trade at the open. That's the smart money, ladies and gentlemen. So I literally laugh whenever CNBC, up next, legendary investor, or up next, the smart money guy, whatever. Folks, I've been in rooms with these people, and most of them are absolute complete idiots. We are the smart money. What else do? I have a podcast called the Max Afterburner Podcast. It's ranked in the top 2.5% of all podcasts on the globe. How many are on the globe? About 3.2 million. So really happy with that podcast. What do I talk about on that podcast? This, besides teaching people how to trade, is why I get up in the morning. I run a foundation called the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. We are a 501c3, a nonprofit dedicated to trying to eliminate or reduce veteran suicide. In the hour that we're going to spend together, 1 or 2 veterans will take their lives. It's a mass shooting on a daily basis in the veteran community. 3 years ago to 2 days ago, so 2 days ago was my 3-year anniversary, I traveled to Mexico with Marcus Luttrell, a Navy SEAL that they wrote the book Lone Survivor and the movie about. Jared Taylor, JT, one of the founders of Black Rifle Coffee, another Navy SEAL veteran, and an NFL veteran suffering from horrific CTE. And I sat with psychedelic-assisted therapy. I'll spare you the details. You can listen to my podcast. It saved and changed my life. Better human being, father, husband. I came home and I said, this is how we're going to end veteran suicide. And you've probably seen a lot about psychedelics in the news recently. The FDA is supposed to, in a couple months, August, rule that MDMA will be legal again for therapeutic use. So the psychedelic renaissance is here. And if you join Solo Amazon today, maybe you'll start looking at some of our other services here at Top Gun Options. One of them where I trade this public psychedelic names, and that sector is exploding, but is going to just physically explode. That's the picture of us after we left Chicago, and I said I can do this on our own. Clearly, I'm a lot older than that. My boy just got sworn in the other day to the Florida Air National Guard, where he wants to fly fighter jets. Jack has just finished his freshman year at Colorado University of Colorado, and my daughter Keely is a sophomore cheerleader going on 29 years old. Okay, what's that have to do with trading? Now you know who I am. Don't ever go to any of these briefs and the guy or gal just gets into it and here's how I did with some trades and pay me money. Who are they? What's their background? What's their pedigree? All right, now let's go ahead and get airborne here. This is going to be. It's either going to be shocking news or you're going to laugh at this. Okay, so let me give you some shocking news or a duh moment. What's the shocking news or dull moment? Wall Street's lying to you. Now, most of you just went duh, and some of you just went, what are they lying about? How many of you have heard day one of investing? Just learned to invest with. I just bought my first stock, and the guy or the gal told me, I can't put all my eggs in one basket. All I hear from these people is I have to diversify. Diversification is important. You must diversify. The 5 tips to diversify. They froth at the mouth that you must diversify. It's a lie. Who's lying to me, Wiz? This guy. Whenever you hear the word broker, delete the word broker, whether it's yacht, stock, real estate, delete the word broker and insert the word commission. Ladies and gentlemen, a stockbroker, whoever you trade with, makes money on commissions. It's an industry practice which is technically outlawed, but it is called churn. They want you in and out of as many names as possible. Anybody see the movie Boiler Room or Wolf of Wall Street or even the movie Wall Street, right? Hey, good morning, Mrs. Smith. Yeah, I know I got you into that stock yesterday. Got to get out of that one. You got to get into this one today. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. They want you in and out of as many names as possible. Now, before you sit here and type in the chat box, well, Mr. Wiz, Mr. Smarty Pants, I trade at Robinhood and I don't pay a commission. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not paying for something, you're not the customer. If you don't know who the idiot is at the poker table, it's you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's called payment for order flow. The customer at Robinhood is Ken Griffin at Citadel or Stevie Cohen, Axe from Axe Capital. If you're not paying, you're not a customer. I guarantee you, I know this. So I'm a fighter pilot. I'm an options trader. I don't have time for fluff. We are very direct. If you have an opportunity, go see the Blue Angels movie that just came out in IMAX, where I think it was only in IMAX for like a week and then it's going to Amazon. You have got to watch the Blue Angel movie. The shots are incredible, but you'll see a debrief with the Blue Angels. There are no punches pulled, so I'm not going to pull any punches. Diversification is for stupid people. Now, if that offends you, let me get an old man to clean it up. Diversification is a protection against ignorance. It makes very little sense to those who know what they're doing. That's a lot of fluff for diversification is for stupid people. Ladies and gentlemen, the only stock you need to own for the rest of your existence on this planet is Amazon. It is diversified in and of itself. Let's go. I'm a political science major, so I like charts and pictures. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen, net revenue in billions. This is what we call a hockey stick. It is going straight up. Amazon destroys everything it touches. Look at the annual revenue by segment. I remember, so Andy Jassy is the current CEO. Jeff Bezos was the CEO, obviously forever. But they came up with AWS, Amazon Web Services, in a condo in 2012. AWS, ladies and gentlemen, last quarter made like $24 billion, 17% growth year over year. AWS, ladies and gentlemen, is Microsoft. It's its own stock. So AWS didn't even exist until 10 years ago, and now it is Microsoft. Okay, so AWS is insane. When you think of the cloud, what do you think of? If I was an idiot, would be like cloud, Microsoft, they massive cloud presence. Or wait a minute, no, Google. Or no, how about Apple, iPhone, the iCloud? I'd think of those names, and you'd be wrong. Amazon owns the cloud. They own the biggest share of cloud infrastructure services market. Apple's not even on here, folks. Microsoft is number 2. Google's a distant 3rd. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you think cloud infrastructure, it's Amazon. Wait a minute, Wiz. I ordered a toothbrush and it showed up an hour from now to my front door from Amazon. And they own the cloud? Yeah, man. They're in everything, right? Now, I'm going to get political for a half a second. Democrats hate this slide. Why? First of all, let me lead with this. Let's delete the word Amazon. Let's go back to Wiz when I started investing. Wiz, look at this chart. Would you buy this stock? All right, let me take a look. I put my glasses on so I look smarter. Sales. Wow. Look at the amount of sales they have. This company is printing money. Next thing I look at, free cash flow. I mean, they're making a ton of money, but that's their free cash flow? That's a little concerning to me. And then I'd look at profit and I'd go, done. I'm going to short this stock. This stock sucks. And then I'd be bankrupt because I'm an idiot. Why? Jeff Bezos, ladies and gentlemen, is crazy like a fox. Jeff Bezos says, if I make $1 this quarter in Amazon, I'm going to take that $1 and I'm going to do something with it. I'm going to buy a competitor. I'm going to buy an airplane. I'm going to buy a new truck. I'm going to put a competitor out of business. I'm going to buy more AI chips. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why AOC and Democrats hate Amazon. Amazon doesn't pay any in taxes. That's because they don't make any money. What? So hate the game, not the player. Absolutely brilliant. This is why Amazon, Jeff Bezos doesn't even know what the word dividend means. He's like, if I make money, why would I give it back to the shareholders? If Amazon makes money, I'm going to put that money back and make a bigger Death Star. So this cracks me up. I just absolutely love that Amazon doesn't make any money as a company. It's comical, but again, like I said, hate the game, not the player. JG, with a small account, Trading Wiz's Amazon trades netted $8,900 in a week. Kristen, you guys are amazing. I trade a smaller account. I've done 22 Amazon trades this year for $31,000 profit. Christine, month-to-date profits on Amazon, $107,000 with more to go. Thanks, Wiz, for all your expertise and guidance doing day trades with short calls to protect my Amazon profits. Learning from the best. And then Ann, back in November, made me look like it was my first day. Monday through Wednesday, in 3 days, I made $90,000 on short calls against my 30 contracts utilizing Wiz's guidance. Now, before I sit here and it's all sunshine and lollipops and just trading Amazon is great or just one name is great, what are the risks? I'm a fighter pilot. I'm an options trader. We got to talk about risks in the mission. The risks to trading just a single name are what? How many in this room have heard of a small mom and pop company called Lehman Brothers? 150-year-old company that was gone in 2 days. How about Bear Stearns? Jim Cramer knows Bear Stearns very well, doesn't he? That famous clip at the height of the financial crisis. Your money's safe at Bear Stearns, $70 stock. I'd put my money there. 2 days later, it was at zero. Good call, Jim. How about pets.com? How about Enron? I'm good. We could spend the next 30 minutes together walking through the graveyard of stocks that have gone to zero. What's the common theme between these four examples? Lehman Brothers, Bear Stearns didn't own anything. They didn't even own, looks like Lehman Brothers didn't own the sign on the building. Pets.com owned a stinky sock and a, domain name. Enron didn't even own the building they were in, folks. They were a middleman of electricity. The common theme in stocks that go to zero is what? They didn't own anything. Amazon owns physical things. I did consulting, I think 10 years ago at this point, south of Miami International Airport at an Amazon fulfillment center. It made an aircraft carrier look small and peaceful. The flight deck of an aircraft carrier I thought was chaotic. An Amazon fulfillment center makes it look calm. Robots, people, it's nuts. It was massive. They're all over the world. Full disclosure, when I got off active duty in the Navy, I went to fly for FedEx and I left. Why? Hated showing up to Memphis at midnight and flying until 8 in the morning and trying to sleep during the day. I bring this up because about 10 years ago, when was this? I forget. A buddy of mine who stayed at FedEx, who took off his pilot uniform and went corporate, he called me up and he said, "Hey man, you trade, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Who's Jeff Bezos?" I said, "He owns Amazon." "Why?" He said, "That's weird. I heard from a buddy of mine at GE Aircraft Leasing that he just leased 5 airplanes." And I said, "Oh man, he's going to do it." He said, What's he going to do?" I said, "He's going to put you out of business." And my buddy laughed at me and hung up. I've called that guy, laughed at him and said, "Told you so," and I hung up back on him. Look at the dates on these stories. September 2021, Amazon is now shipping cargo for outside customers in its latest move to compete with FedEx and UPS. Look at the date on this one, later in 2021. Amazon poised to pass UPS and FedEx to become the largest U.S. delivery service by early 2022. This headline, last year, the biggest delivery business in the U.S. is no longer UPS or FedEx. Subheadline, Amazon is eclipsing both carriers and the gap is growing. Talking about putting all your eggs in one basket, FedEx and UPS. I got airplanes and trucks. Amazon has everything. Amazon Prime, Amazon Web Services, Amazon Air, Amazon Pharma, Amazon everything. UPS, FedEx, bye-bye. FedEx even went to Amazon recently and asked for help. Like, hey, can we partner? Amazon's like, yeah, okay, dude, you're gonna be done. Years ago, I told people, you want two great bearish trades? I should have said three. To be honest, I didn't know Rite Aid was still in business. What happened last year? Rite Aid went in Chapter 11. Walgreens and CVS. Why would you go to Walgreens or CVS? First of all, in San Francisco, New York, you go to Walgreens, everything's behind plastic. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, you will be able to get a text from Amazon. It says, hey, your package, your prescription's here. Go to your front door. You're going to open your front door. A drone's going to scan your face, and they're going to drop your prescription in your hand and fly away. Or you're going to get a text that says, go out your door. Your package is here. You're going to go up to an Amazon electric vehicle that doesn't have a driver in the front. Why? Because drivers unionize. They have to pee. They want to be paid. They're going to be gone. You're going to enter your PIN that you got in the text message on the side of the Amazon vehicle. A door will open and your package will get pushed out. So I told people years ago to get bearish on Walgreens and CVS. They will go out of business. Why would you get in your car to drive to a Walgreens with everything behind plastic when you can order it on Amazon and same day get it? Amazon is just, this was an exclusive in the Wall Street Journal recently, and they made it out to be like something bad. Inside Amazon's secret operation to gather intel on rivals. Business is combat, folks. I would expect Amazon to be doing this stuff. Amazon goes undercover, ladies and gentlemen, and puts their competitors out of business. You want a friend, get a dog. You want to make money, you invest in companies that do this stuff. You might not like it, but again, get a dog. Oh, why is this guy on the screen? Relax. Here's why he's on this screen. Because I thought, we're talking about risks. I thought this was a risk. What do I mean? Year one of Trump presidency, the guy woke up one morning or didn't go to bed, depends on who you listen to, grabbed his cell phone and tweeted, Amazon's a monopoly, huge monopoly. Somebody needs to break it up. I'm like, oh my God, man, that's the president of the United States tweeting that Amazon's a monopoly and needs to be broken up. What happened? The stock went down a little bit like, holy crap. Then what happened? Nothing. 4 years later, final year of his presidency, Amazon's a bigger monopoly. Well, Washington Post, Jeff Bezos, unbelievably bad people break up Amazon. What happened that day? The stock went up and never looked back. I am old enough to remember what happened to Standard Oil or AT&T or Microsoft or IBM. The average time it takes between, you know what, we think you're getting too big for your britches. The average time to look into it, to litigate it, is 10 years. 5 years was the quickest I've ever seen. 15 years was the longest. So, ladies and gentlemen, if Uncle Sam truly, truly, truly thinks that Amazon's a monopoly and wants to break them up, last time I checked, depending on Tesla's stock price, Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. I'm fairly certain he might have one or two attorneys on retainer to be able to litigate. And it's too late. I call Amazon Mercury. If you tried to smash Amazon right now, you'd create 12 monopolies. You smash Amazon Air. It's bigger than FedEx and UPS. Amazon Prime is Netflix. AWS is Microsoft. You would create monopolies all over the place instead of one massive monopoly. If they broke up Amazon, I'd buy every little piece of it. But you don't have to do that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Amazon is diversified in and of itself. That's why it's the only stock you need to own for the rest of your life. But I am briefing risks right now, and there are obviously Department of Justice looking into this, or Federal Trade Commission looking into this, and antitrust issues. Yeah, I guarantee you in my lifetime, they ain't breaking Amazon up anytime soon. Okay? But I am briefing you on potential threats, right? Amazon says more packages are arriving in a day or less after hefty investment in speedy fulfillment. Amazon gets more fuel for AI race. We started this brief talking about NVIDIA. You want to talk about putting all your chips in one basket? It's NVIDIA. Amazon, ladies and gentlemen, has been involved in AI since day one, and they have the money to fund all of this stuff. You want AI, you buy Amazon. You don't buy NVIDIA. This was pretty funny. James Woods, remember towards the end of last year, people were just like walking into Lululemon and stealing, they were just taking stuff and walking out. And Lululemon actually fired employees who went and videotaped people or followed them to the parking lot. They fired those people for calling the cops. Just so everybody understands the game here, Lululemon and these other national brand stores don't care about theft because A, this crap is in fact virtually worthless, and B, they would rather sell it online. No fuss, no muss, no employees. When you see the stores locking up everything up behind glass and forcing customers to select from a kiosk, it's a way to avoid excessive minimum wages to human workers and lawsuits from the sales staff loonies, whatever. Invest in Amazon, folks. Pretty soon, it'll be the only marketplace left. Now, like I just said, I'm bipolar, and so am I. I can't stand Amazon. I can't stand Jeff Bezos. He is your typical limousine liberal. I can't stand him. Doesn't pay his employees enough. He's anti-competitive. He puts people out of business. Awful. And then I'm going to put on my $10,000 Armani suit and go, good. I absolutely love Amazon. And I'm going to quote Gordon Gekko from the movie Wall Street when he was talking to Bud Fox about getting his hands dirty. If you want a friend, get a dog. I'm going to teach you how to print money. And how you print money is by trading Amazon. Now, I just briefed all the potential threats. What are the benefits of trading just Amazon? You trade the same name and you're going to potentially profit no matter what direction Amazon goes, up, down, or sideways. Yes, we can make money with Amazon trading sideways. In about 2 minutes, I'm going to show you my brokerage account and recent trades. We made $3,800 last week on one Amazon trade. It's called an iron condor. It's a range-bound trade. Amazon moved up, down that whole week, but didn't go outside our iron condor range. $3,800 in a week. You stay focused on the news and events that impact Amazon instead of a bunch of stocks and ETFs. You become an expert in Amazon, reducing time spent on other positions. Why do I have this F4 Phantom cockpit back up? I'm going to put this number right here, 33. When I moved from Chicago, started TOPGUN Options in 2009, there was an orthopedic surgeon here in Boca. Wiz, I hear you're a good trader. I need help. Met him at Starbucks, booted up his laptop. He turned it around to show me his brokerage account. And I'm glad he's a doctor because I passed out and like hit my head. Why? This guy who works 8, 10-hour days, surgeries, office hours, who looks at his phone in between appointments to look at his portfolio, had 33 positions. 33. And he tried. I stopped him, but he started to. I'm like, whoa, what is this? He's like, well, this one I think it's a pot stock. I'm like, did you just say I think? This one it's a surgical stock, and one of my buddies got me into it. It's down. Listen to this. It's down 50%, but when it gets back to where I bought it, I'll get out of it. I'm like, Doc, you're a doc, right? Yeah. You're supposed to be smart. Do you understand math at all? What's this? I'm like, shut up. Stop talking. Get rid of everything in here and simplify your trading cockpit. Absolutely insane. I might be talking to some of you in this room. Simplify your trading cockpit. I'm a professional, ladies and gentlemen. I trade Amazon and some psychedelic stocks. That's it. Besides my daily S&P 500 sniper shots that I print money on. Folks, if you have more than 3 positions, 5 positions, and you're not anchored to your desk 24/7, you're not doing it well, I guarantee you. I showed you the picture of our trading floor. Our research desk meaning like of 25 people, a senior analyst covered maybe 3 to 4 names. They had to eat, breathe, and sleep those names. I'm not joking. They had to know the CEO's parrot's name. A junior analyst had 1 name, maybe 2, that they had to eat, breathe, and sleep. Do you know how many times I'd walk over to that research desk and go, hey, did you see the news on XYZ? Yeah. Thought you were supposed to know that name like the back of your hand. What happened? So I'm telling you, folks, if you're a retail trader and you just kind of dabble, if you have more than a handful of names, I don't know how you're doing it. That 151% from last year, concentrated. So let's say you're sitting here going, Wiz, I think you are talking to me. But they bit me in my neck day one of investing, and I have got to diversify. I just can't not. That's what I've been taught to make a great trader. Well, guess what? If you've been bitten in the neck by the diversification dude, here's what we can also trade. It's called the XLY. It's the consumer discretionary ETF. A buddy of mine used to say shrimp are a vehicle for eating cocktail sauce. The XLY is a vehicle for eating Amazon. About a quarter, about 25% of this ETF is Amazon. And look at the other stuff you get. You get some Starbucks, Home Depot, McDonald's. I think Tesla's in here somewhere, Nike, Dollar General, Target. So if you must diversify, ladies and gentlemen, you can also trade in this service called Solo Amazon, the XLY. All right. So how do we target Amazon and XLY for max profit? Here's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to show you a base position, just like the United States Marine Corps landing on a beachhead. We're going to establish a base position. In about 1 minute, we're going to fly out into the future on using options, and we're going to establish a long-term bullish position all the way out into the future. It's going to be called synthetic stock, but we could also look at a tactic called a long call diagonal. If you have no idea what either of those things are, that's what I'm going to teach you here at TOPGUN Options. That's my job. After we establish our beachhead, our base position, we're going to trade what we call the front months. What's a front month? You're sitting in the front month, May, June, July. These are the front months, and then you can trade all the way a couple years out into the future. If in the front month, Amazon's moving up, we're going to trade some bullish spreads and some long calls. Uh-oh, Amazon's going down. What do you mean, uh-oh? We're going to make money as an options trader with Amazon going down with bearish spreads, or we'll buy some puts. Wiz, Amazon's not moving. It's just going sideways. That's movement, folks. And if it's moving sideways, we made $3,800 on a sideways move last week. If you just trade stock, you can also make money 3 ways, right? It's called the buy, hope, and pray. You buy a stock. It's not going up. All right, I hope it goes up. It's not. I'm going to pray. I make money 3 ways trading options, up, down, and sideways. So let's go look. Take a current look at Amazon. First of all, let's just go look at a recent chart of Amazon here, man. AMZN. Look at Amazon, man. Monster rally. It just has it. Let's, I don't know, 9-month chart. Anybody see a trend here? Obviously, when the S&P 500 rolled over, at the end of last month, it did that. Why? Interest rates or inflation and everything like that. There was kind of the overall market, the S&P 500 did the same thing. No, we're back. So great looking chart of Amazon, folks. Pretty consistent that it hugs this 20. See this green line here? That's the 20-day moving average. And recently we kind of bounced off this that 50-day moving average down here. But a chart of Amazon, folks, is just a beautiful looking thing, up and to the right. You want to trade a stock that's kind of moving up and to the right. Let's look at, how about a year and a half chart? Look at this. Year and a half chart, folks. Absolutely printing money. It was a $80 stock down here. It almost hit 200, 190. Added $100 in the past year and a half. It just prints money, folks. I can't, I will stop saying it because I know it. I trade it. Real quick, let's go look. Men lie, trades don't. Here is, so look at this. This was Monday. Every Monday at 10 a.m., we do what's called a solo Amazon brief. Okay. Iron Condor max profit. So the week before, we debriefed the Amazon Iron Condor that expired last week for a max profit of $3,800. And what did we do? We put on a new Iron Condor out to next Friday, May 31st. That could potentially make $2,300. And Amazon right now is going right through the uprights. I call it a football trade. You see this green right here? That's like the football uprights. And the dotted line right there in the middle is the current price of Amazon. It's sitting right in the middle, folks. So again, if you're just a stock trader, you're sitting here going, damn, you guys trading options can make money if something's moving sideways. Yeah. So look at this. Amazon is trading in a range right now. So we put on an Iron Condor. After earnings over here, we've kind of leveled out and we're hovering. So as an options trader, I make money in a hover. As long as Amazon by next Friday, let me drop a line in here real quick, stays underneath 190, which is all the way up there, 190 and 180's down here. And it looks like it's hugging right in the middle. Absolutely love it, folks. Iron Condor is the tactic. So $3,800, folks, which would pay for nearly 4 years of your solo Amazon service in a week with one trade. All right, now let's pull up an options chain. And if you're new to options trading, don't worry about it. In about 5 minutes, I'm going to show you our options training program that's designed to take somebody who can't even spell the word options, like my Marine buddies, and in 8 sessions, you're going to be doing this stuff. I guarantee you'll be able to do this stuff. Now, let's hop in our F-35 and go the speed of light all the way out into the future here. We can go all the way out to December of 2026 and get long-term bullish on Amazon. But let's do some quick math real quick. If you're not an options trader, if you wanted to buy 100 shares of Amazon right now at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, it would cost you $18,300. Wiz, I don't have $18,300. Folks, 100 shares equals one options contract. One options contract controls 100 shares of stock. It makes 0 sense to me to buy 100 shares of Amazon today. Even if I was a billionaire, I'd be a billionaire because I don't trade by the stock. That's the dumbest thing in the world. Well, Wiz, I buy stocks because of the dividend. Did you not hear me at the beginning of this brief that Jeff Bezos doesn't know what the word dividend means? Why would you buy Amazon stock for $18,300 today when you could do what? Let's go to the options chain, December of 2026, when we could buy one at the money. What does at the money mean? Right now, Amazon's trading at like 183. There's a 180 strike and there's a 185 strike. So literally Amazon's right in between here. Let's just buy a 180 call. Buy one December 26th, 180 call. I am essentially buying the right to buy 100 shares of Amazon. Instead of coming out of pocket today, $18,305. It's $4,900. If you know nothing about options and you just followed this example, you are now officially an options trader. I just saved you $13,000. Now, let's go a little step further. This tactic right here, folks, is just I'm buying a call. I'm buying one Amazon 180 call out a couple years into the future for $4,900. If buying a call is bullish, selling a call, the person on the other side of that trade is bearish. Let's go over to what are called puts. Now, most of you, even if you just trade stocks, have probably heard about puts. I know that if I think a stock's going to go down, I could buy some puts. Precisely. I think a stock is going to go down, so I'm going to buy some puts on it. Beautiful. What does the person who sold you those puts think? It ain't going to go down, dude. I'll sell you those puts. I think it's going up. So what we could do, ladies and gentlemen, is sell what we call an at-the-money $180 put. And instead of spending $18,305 or $4,900 to buy one call, we could do this trade and spend today $2,200. So in the span of 4 minutes, I saved you $16,000. On your screen right now is a tactic called synthetic stock. What does the word synthetic mean? We're not buying the shares, baby. I'm not wasting 18 grand today. So if you do synthetic stock, you don't get two things, and neither of them matter for Amazon. But what are the two things? You don't get a dividend. You're not buying the shares, so you're not a shareholder. You're not getting a dividend, dude. I already told you that. The other thing you don't get with synthetic stock, since you don't own the shares, is a right to vote. The last time I checked, I'm pretty damn sure that Jeff Bezos and his ex-wife own probably a couple more shares of Amazon than you do, and your vote ain't worth anything. So one more time, why would you buy 100 shares of Amazon today? You'd be an idiot. There is zero reason to do this. On your screen, ladies and gentlemen, is a tactic called synthetic stock. On your screen right now, that is long stock. Amazon goes up $10 today, I make $10 today. This is the same tactic. You are long-term bullish on Amazon as if you bought the stock. If you followed the past 6 minutes, you are officially an options trader if you have no idea what an option was before you came to this brief. Now, the smart people looked at what? Holy crap, Wiz, I'm risking $20,000 in this trade. What are you risking if you just bought 100 shares of Amazon? Essentially the exact same risk, folks. The max potential loss if you bought $18,000 worth of Amazon is what? The stock goes to zero. I already spent 40 minutes of this brief telling you it's almost physically impossible for Amazon to go to zero. And look at the probability. Look at this right here. It says probability of maximum loss, 0.00. And I guarantee you there's 17 decimal points and a 1. The odds of Amazon going to zero by December 2026 are 0.00 and 1 out at the 17th decimal point. There is a probability. The odds of getting killed by a golden retriever are never zero. So, ladies and gentlemen, for all of you who are sitting here like, wow, that's a lot of risk. If you bought 100 shares, dude, your max potential loss is $18,000. What are you, new? Does everybody understand this? It's so funny when I talk to people who are, oh, I heard options are dangerous and everything like that. Folks, a bunch of white dudes in the 70s in a back room with cigars came up with options. Like, why don't we come up with something like, instead of having to come out of pocket a lot of capital to buy the shares, why don't we come up with contracts? Like, I have the right to buy this 2 years into the future if I want to. 98% of options contracts are never exercised, meaning I don't take delivery of 100 shares in December of 2026. I get in and out of the contract. If you've understood any of this, you are an options trader at this point, and I'm going to make you better. Now, once we get this synthetic stock position on your screen, and don't forget, the window you're looking at me in has a little camera icon at the top. You can click that and take a screenshot of this trade, and I think it saves to your My Documents or your desktop or something like that. So if you're interested in this synthetic stock position, do this. But what could we also do? Let's go look at the front month. What's the front month with? You're sitting in it. It's May. Like out to, look at Amazon. I already told you it's in a range right now. We could go out to next Friday, folks, May 31st, and sell an upside call against this. I told you selling a call means you're bearish or you don't think the stock's going to go above this point. So I could go out to next Friday and sell an upside call against this position. Add option, sell one. What's next Friday? May 31st. I don't know. Let's look at like selling a 187.5 call. Ladies and gentlemen, when you sell something, you bring in money. So I showed you some of those case studies that said, hey, Wiz, help me. And I was selling upside calls against my long-term bullish Amazon stock, and I'm printing money. Yeah. So when you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of two trades right now, or two positions. I got a long-term bullish synthetic stock, and I just sold a front month call. This keeps you busy enough, folks. Why would you have 32 other positions? This, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty cool. And in addition to this synthetic stock long-term bullish trade, what do I also have on in the background? I just showed you an iron condor out to next Friday. So technically we have what? 3 positions on, right? Long-term bullish synthetic stock, and in an iron condor, we have 2 individual trades. If you don't know, it's a bull put spread and a bear call spread. So technically we have 3 positions on, but they're all in the same name. I'm not sitting here trying to listen to an earnings call for another name, or I'm not sitting here, oh geez. I am focused on everything in Amazon. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Solo Amazon. This is the gateway drug for learning options and everything else we do here at TOPGUN Options. Like I said, the psychedelic space is going to explode. It is exploding, but it is really going to explode. So if you'd like to kind of learn how to trade options, or at least start in our Solo Amazon service, let's go ahead and talk about that real quick. Solo Amazon, newest live trading service. It's only $8.97 a year, folks. I'll give you 2 months free if you do an annual membership. If you just want to kick the tires for a couple months, it's $97 a month. I really don't drink anymore as a result of my psychedelic assisted therapy. But before I did that, in this brief, I'd say $97 a month, folks. I buy bottles of wine that are 5 times that amount at a nice steak dinner. Now I can't say that anymore. So, well, I can still say it. $97 is a cheap bottle of wine. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can either do an annual membership, and I'll give you 2 months free, or why don't you can try it out month with $97 a month. So here you go. Let me give you this page, and I'll brief you on some of the other benefits that you're going to get. $8.97 a year, annual membership. You get 2 months free, or so there's the link right now. Or it's $97 a month. Ain't no surprise. Like, hey, after the first month, does it go up to $1 million a month? No, dude. It's $97 a month for the rest of your life. But that's kind of dumb because you can save essentially 20% and do the annual. So it's $97 a month, folks. Like I said, this is our gateway drug to find out what else I do here at TOPGUN Options. A lot of people start in Solo Amazon and they move on up to our other services. Okay. That was last year, about 100 grand just trading Amazon, folks. We are crushing it year to date too. I just showed you a current trade, and I showed you a trade that we debriefed from last week. $3,800, folks, one trade. The current Amazon Iron Condor we have on, potentially $2,300 in a week and a half. Wiz, every Monday at 10 a.m., I work for a living. 80% of our members work for a living, folks. I send out email alerts, and I also post those trades live in our live chat thread called The Hunters. So you're going to get an email alert, and you get it posted live immediately on the live chat thread on our website. And then it takes, and there's what an email looks like. It takes about 30 minutes for me to render the recording and post it to the member page. So if you can't make it on Monday mornings, or you got a meeting that Monday, watch it, the replay at lunch. Watch it at night after dinner or when the kids go to bed. A lot of people, look at Chris. I'm so geeked. Been a subscriber for almost 3 years now, and this is the first time I've been able to attend live. I only know you from the replays, right? Today, I'm going to hook you up. If you went to our website right now and wanted to buy our primary, intermediate, and advanced manuals, they're $197. They're included. So for the political science majors from South Jersey, South Philadelphia, let me do the math for you. It's $97 a month, but I'm getting manuals worth $197 right out of the gate. Yeah, exactly. You just made $100, folks. I just put $100 back in your pocket. These are yours to keep. They're yours. So I just saved you $100 today, folks. So here's what you get: access to our brief every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern, the email alerts, the 3 skill-based manuals, and then access to that online ready room that I mentioned. Okay, you can ask me questions in between briefs. What's this trade look like? How am I doing? What's going on with Amazon? I'm in there, folks, 24/7. This is what I do, right? Bob closed Amazon synthetic stock and Amazon positions associated with the synthetic stock for a 37 grand profit. Goose, $23,800 profit in a month on Amazon. Chuck, thank you, Wiz, for the Amazon calls yesterday. I closed 3 contracts at my 30% profit target, cleared 15 grand. Also had 6 Amazon calls that also hit 30% for another $50,000. So, folks, if you want to test fly solo Amazon for a month, it's only, like I said, it's $97 a month. The link's in the chat box. Now, I'm gonna act like I'm the Flex Seal tape guy, but wait, there's more. Make sure, as you check out, kind of like when you check out of Amazon, it's going to say, hey, do you want to add the training? Yeah, you do. Even if you're an options trader right now, what's the motto of Top Gun? You think you're good, we'll make you better. You think you're good, I'm going to make you better. Take the full throttle training, folks. It's only $295, one-time charge for access to 8 training sessions. We take a building block approach. Right here, session 1. This is the market. This is where I gather my intel. These are calls. These are puts. These are covered. Folks, we take a building block approach. I copied and pasted this from the United States Navy. At Pensacola Naval Air Station, you can show up not even knowing what an airplane is, and with that building block approach, in a short amount of time, you're landing on an aircraft carrier. I copied and pasted it, folks. Thank you, United States Navy. If you don't know what options are, or you kind of do, the full throttle training is going to get you up to speed. And look at this. If you understood the range-bound trade that I talked about, the Iron Condor, that's like one of the last sessions that I do. So if you kind of followed me through this and said, where's synthetic stock? Right here, session 7. So if you kind of followed me, man, you're doing pretty damn good. If you didn't follow me, these will get you up to speed. Give me a vertical head nod, folks. It's cheap. There are other places that shall remain nameless. I think there's like a dude in front of a whiteboard. You get like videotapes, and they charge you an obscene amount of money for options training. I'm like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. Here, you're paying for the practical application of the training in a live trade brief. The training is beautiful. Utah. So this guy, speaking of the Blue Angels, Mark Provo, call sign Utah, FedEx captain, didn't know shit about options. He was on a layover in Fort Lauderdale last year. He's like, Wiz, I've been following your TGO stuff for a while. I need to learn how to trade options. Guy, I'm telling you, didn't know what an option was. This is a couple weeks later. Good morning. Less than 20 trading days. I'm up 15 grand on a 40 grand account. I'm like, well, shit, bro. If anyone can do it, if you can do it, anyone can do it. Most people would kill for a 38% return in a year. Yeah, and he's doing great right now. Utah is having a blast trading. Um, what's 117 grand Amazon Pro, whatever. I'm done with the testimonials, man. I can give you, thankfully, knock on wood, I rarely get a testimonials like I got completely wiped out or got destroyed. Why? Because it's about managing risk. Every trade that I do, man, we look at the risk before we get into it, and we know when we're getting out of it. Before we even place a trade, folks, here's my max profit, here's my minimum loss. And when we hit those, we're done. We take the emotion out of it, folks. Look at the top left of this slide. Discipline and risk management. What do they equal? Superior execution. So Solo Amazon, folks, our newest live trading service. Normally $167 a month for my other briefs because we're trading other stuff, psychedelics and Microsoft or whatever. $897 a year or $97 a month. Look at that. I finished on time to the minute. If you didn't learn anything today, folks, I clearly failed, but I guarantee you did. I was going to say do me a favor. Don't do me a favor. Do you a favor. Do a debrief of your personal trading account right now. Are you flying around in an F4 Phantom, or is it time for you to simplify not only your life, but your trading? Instead of stressing out trading on different names, or I got a hot stock tip at the cooler, Amazon is it, folks. And if you simply must feel like you need to diversify out of Amazon, look at the XLY, folks. But I'm pretty damn sure I did my job in this brief and proved to you that Amazon is diversified in and of itself. That name is completely diversified. Okay, so let me give you the, I'll give you that in a second. The replay page, you came in a little late. No worries, man. Let me give you, a couple of people are asking for the link to buy right now. That is that. So look in the chat box right there, folks. You got two choices, $97 a month. You click on that one, it goes to that page. Or if you take the discount, man, why wouldn't you do the discount? I don't mind. As a businessman, I prefer you to try it for a couple months at 97 and then upgrade. But the smart people get started today with the annual. Yeah, give me 1 second. The replay page. I'm going to stretch my legs, recharge my cup of coffee, and it'll take about 30 minutes for this to get posted. Okay, that's on the internet, my computer, man. So no, it ain't me being lazy. As soon as I end this brief, I click render and it'll render. But yeah, let me give you that in a second. As I'm getting the replay page, folks, any other questions, concerns, smart remarks? Thank you. I appreciate that. I'll give you the link to the foundation. Here's the replay, folks. Here is the replay page. And you can scroll down and click enroll in Solo Amazon on the replay page. You can grab your membership from this replay page. But this is the last Solo Amazon brief on here, folks. It's obviously not the current one because you're in it. So give me a little bit of time to get the replay up. Yeah, it's nofallenheroesfoundation.org. This is our website. If you know any veterans, first responders, or family members who are in it and need some help, please shoot me an email. Have them shoot me an email. Wiz at nofallenheroes.com. And before I forget, let me give you this link. This is our YouTube channel where we just have some incredible content from veterans and first responders who have healed with psychedelic assisted therapy. So if you're interested in checking out some of this content, there's the link right there. Make sure you follow this page too, man. We need more subscribers. So please click on that link and go follow the No Fallen Heroes Foundation YouTube channel. We have some great podcasts on here, man. NHL players, F-14 pilots. We got female veterans who have healed with the medicine. It's incredible. I am honored and humbled to be doing this mission. So I love teaching people how to trade, and I love teaching people that they can potentially heal. Puts a smile on my face. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I can show you that. It's this Iron Condor out to next Friday is right here. It's the 180, 177 and a half, 190, 192 and a half. See, look at this. I'm giving out free trades to people who aren't TGO members yet. Yeah, I like this. I love this iron condor out to next Friday, and it's a potential $2,300 profit. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You can do that. Just do the $97 a month for a couple months, and then shoot us an email that says, "Yeah, man, I'm ready to upgrade into an annual." You save 2 months. You save about 25% with the annual membership. John, let's see what John has to say. Train didn't pop up as discounted, assuming that can be managed correctly later. What did it pop up as? That sounds interesting to me. What did it should have popped up at 295? What did it pop up as? Because I remember saying, you know what, let's make it 295. And if it isn't, yeah, we if something is not working, I will absolutely um, hook you up with that. Oh, it corrected? Oh, good. Awesome. Yeah, I think what it does, bro, is it says like it's usually 495 and it's lined out or something like it's 295. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, John. Yeah, I think that's what it does. The marketing team's like, put it for 495 and then it says 295 or something like that. So I appreciate that. Awesome, John. Welcome aboard. Any other I went 6 minutes long, but I was taking questions. I love ending on time and talking through all this stuff. Any other excuse me, questions, concerns, oh by the ways? Let me grab a screenshot of that too, John. I wanna make sure that it's supposed to look like that and that's not a mistake. Cool. Yeah, the we I'm actually launching thanks, Brent. I appreciate it. I'm actually launching a new company, or it's been launched, No Fallen Heroes. We're going to actually be trading psychedelics, doing podcasts, coaching. So currently, I talk psychedelics in what's called accelerated retirement here at Top Gun Options, but that's going to be pulled out and go to another company altogether with some partners and everything that we're doing over there. Yeah, we do. I love trading iron. Speaking of iron condors, we did this one. Look at this one. So 2 days ago, on Tuesday, I did what's called a primary brief, and we talked about trading Chipotle. But we have a weekly trade on the S&P 500, SPX. We have an iron condor out to Friday, the 53.75, 52.65, and it is going right. So by tomorrow afternoon, as long as the S&P is under 53.70, we're at 53.10 right now. Look at this trade. We placed this trade Tuesday, folks, and it's currently up. It's up $1,500 right now, folks, and has the potential to make $2,700 by tomorrow. Another $1,200, obviously. So right now, you could close this trade that we covered on Tuesday for nice $1,500, or you could take it to expiration tomorrow and make potentially $2,700. So yes, why iron condors right now? Let's go look at the S&P 500 because a lot of stuff is kind of leveling off up here. The market is at all-time highs right now. Let me close this chart down a little bit to like 6 months. So you see how we had this kind of, terrific rip your face off bounce and rally. Now we're chopping sideways. We're at all-time highs up here trying to decide if we're going to keep ripping higher or maybe take a little bit of a break. So as the market gets a little tired from a big run like that, I do the range bound trades. So I'll teach you all this in full throttle training. I trade a bunch of tactics based on what the market is showing me. If all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. I got a whole toolbox. I'm going to teach you bull put spreads, bear call spreads, synthetic stock, iron condors, all sorts of stuff. But yeah, it's interesting that I showed you just a bunch of iron condors right now. Why? Because we're in a range right now. So trade the market you have, not the one you want. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry I went long, but I love taking our questions one more time. That's the replay page. And the replay will be posted here shortly. You can buy off of that page, or this is the direct sales page. If you were in this brief the whole time and you're like, I got it, I'm ready to go, annual or monthly, you can go straight to this page. Okay. Good stuff. That's all I got, man. Welcome aboard. My phone was buzzing a lot, which means we got some new members, which is great. You're gonna have a blast, man. I love all sorts of stuff. You're gonna have fun. All right, guys, have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged in this market. Fights on. Namaste and basi basi. Basi means truth. Whiz out. I'll see you Monday at 10 a.m. for all the new Solo Amazon members. Have a great weekend.